Engine rumble, dust starts to rise. Fire in their hearts and steel in their eyes. 24 years chasing one dream, living wide open at the edge of extreme. The grandstand roar, the lights burn bright. Every lap's a battle in the summer night. One more chance, one more fight. Only one leaves here wearing the crown tonight. Stand up, let the thunder roll. Every driver's risking body and soul. This is where legends earn their name. Nothing's ever handed in this game. We crown the king tonight. Raise that trophy to the sky. Burning rubber, sparks and fire. Every heart beats one step higher. We crown the king tonight. Underneath these Friday lights, from the dirt to victory lane, one will wear the royal name. We crown the king tonight. We crown the king tonight. Oh yeah, slide job coming off a turn 4. Crowd on their feet, wanting just one more. Every inch is earned in the clay. No room for fear when it all slips away. The checkered waits beyond the smoke. Dreams are built where the brave don't choke. History's calling through the night. Who's gonna answer when the time is right? Hear the guitars, hear the crowd, every engine singing loud. Raise your hands, let freedom ring. Tonight we're racing for the king. We crown the king tonight. We crown the king tonight. Feel the thunder, feel the fight. Every corner, every mile, built on grit and southern pride. We crown the king tonight. Under stars and stadium lights, one man stands when the dust is gone, forever etched in racing songs. We crown the king tonight. The dirt settles, the crowd still sings. Long live the king. Woo!
Welcome back for night number 4 of the Kings Royal Week here at Dirty Old Bastards here on DRSN, brought to you by Steinman Gallo Racing. And it has been a fantastic week of racing here at Eldora. My name's Chris Murphy here with you tonight. Really appreciate you spending your evening with us. As the intro song said, we crown a king tonight, and not only that, we crown a new king tonight. Do not see any of our past winners here. Last year's champion Mason Hannagan looks to be a no-show tonight. And I do not see any of our past champions in the lobby as of yet. So at this point, we will have a new victor. So this is the ninth annual Kings Royal here for the Dirty Old Bastards. Out of the previous 8 races, we've had 7 different winners. Only Mason Hannagan won the race twice, last year in 2025 and back in 2022. But this week, 2026, it has been all Ryan Avila this year. He picked up the win last night, started on the pole, led every single lap at the night before. The night before that, Tuesday night, the Joker's Wild, same thing, started on the pole, led every single lap, brought home the win in the Joker's Wild. We have yet, only Mason Hannagan back in 2022 has won the last 3 nights of the 4-night here for the Kings Royal. He won the Joker's Wild the night before and the Kings Royal, Ryan Avila has a shot to match that here tonight. If he can get a good starting spot, get a lucky draw here in the heat. So we're going to do 2-car qualifying here in just a minute. We're about a second away here from getting into our qualifying session. 2 cars out on the racetrack. If you haven't been with us all week long, open qualifying, 2 cars will roll out together. And we will roll through. It looks like we got close to about 50 drivers here tonight. So good showing here for the final night here for the Kings Royal. We go back here. We talked about Ryan's dominance here the last 2 nights. Monday night, we started off the week with a double down showdown. It was Bryce Heinstein and Aiden Stoll bringing home the wins Monday night. Man, I kind of hope this would keep going here a few more nights. We look forward to. We're gonna come back with the 410, the Nationals for Knoxville later on in the year here for the Dirty Old Bastards. But this is our last special show here for a while. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, give us a like, hit the notification bell. We're going to get qualifying underway here in just a moment. See who our first 2 drivers out on the speedway. Right now they got, last couple nights have been filled with quite a few cautions in the feature, so I'm sure that race control is having a little bit longer drivers meeting than normal. Stressing the importance of these drivers. Let's get some green flag laps in here tonight. I'm looking through our driver roster here, and I still do not see any of our past champions, so we will crown a new champion. Parker Leak, fast time last night. Night before that was Richie Gaines the third. Monday night it was Chris Sabske. And I thought I saw all of those drivers here with us tonight. Actually, I do not see Chris in the lineup. All right. This is a special event here for the Dirty Old Bastards, but if you are looking for a good dirt league, they're going to get back together here shortly. They'll run a weekly show, usually a 360 league, a 410 league, and sometimes a big block and super late models. Chris Roberts puts this league together, does a fantastic job. If you're looking for a good dirt league to be a part of, check out the Dirty Old Bastards. You'll find them on the iRacing on the server there. Look them up. Put in your application. Like I said, they put on a really good show, and a lot of times we see some of the top drivers at all of iRacing here with us on a weekly basis. So we're going to get going here real soon. Chris must be a little wordy here tonight in the drivers meeting. All right, get going here shortly. The 45 lap feature tonight. That's 40 lap feature here tonight. Couple twists. We will invert. So after qualifying, they will draw a random pill. We'll invert anywhere from 0 to 8 in the heat races. It's last couple nights the invert has fallen to 6. So let's see where we end up here tonight. All right, let's see who we get out on the speedway first tonight. Got a couple other features coming your way. Radio replay, but this great app allows us to check in with the driver chat. Now, we've had some stuff we probably didn't want to play live over the broadcast during the week, but we'll try to check in when we can. If there's anything worth noting, we'll play it up for you. Nice little addition to the broadcast that we have. Radio replay, you find them, scan the QR code rather to take you to their Discord. If you're a streamer or a broadcaster or anything, it works really well. Check them out over there. Also, another one of our sponsors, AI Chief. AI software, help you out with all of your pit strategy, your spotter calls. And they're working on some overlays as well, so another nice tool for streamers and broadcasters to go with it too. But if you've used any of the crew chief, the really cool thing about it is you don't even have to use your shortcuts on your stream keys or your keyboards. You can just tell the crew chief what you want to change, and he'll do it for you, which is really convenient if you run Now, we don't have that here on the dirt track, but if you're on a NASCAR road course, any of that kind of stuff, really good tool to have at your disposal. As we look down on the speedway, just still waiting to get the first cars out onto the racetrack here. Fastest times we've seen this weekend qualifying right around the mid 12.7s. Parker Leak last night with a 12.777. And it looks like it might be Heinstein and Steele on the racetrack, and they kind of snuck out there. Heinstein right now with fast time at a 12.979. The track looking quick here again tonight. Smeal right now going to come across in second. First two cars out on the speedway. It looks like Jack Young will be next on the racetrack, along with the 11 of Jeremy Childers. Keep an eye on Jack Young. He's had some pace all week long. Can he knock Heinstein off the top spot? Heinstein picked up the win on Monday night. Right now he's got fast time. Jack Young to start lap number 1. Childers right there behind him. Let's see what Young can put down his first lap. Down to the bottom. Into 3. He's going to slide up to the cushion off of 4. Across the line. Young will come across. Lap number 1. A 13.355. I put him down in third. Childers. 13.470. He will go to fourth. Young to third. Second lap for Jack Young. Can he improve on his first lap? Across the stripe. Jack Young. Slight improvement, but stays in third. Childers. Big improvement there for Jeremy Childers. He's going to move up to second at a 13.171. If we can see the next cars on the speedway. Sometimes they just kind of show up on the racetrack on us here. We still see Jack Young sitting down here at the end of pit exit there. All right, we got Aiden Stoll. Aiden Stoll out onto the racetrack. I don't see anybody with him, so Aiden picked up a win Monday night, a 13.107 for his first lap. He's going to come across in second. Off of turn number 4, across the stripe for lap number 2. A little bit quicker, but he is not going to knock down Heinstein at 13.008 for Stoll. Like next car, so Stoll second across the stripe, 29 hundredths of a second behind your pole sitter Bryce Heinstein, who's the next on the speedway. Landon Cardoza, his first lap. He's not even showing up on the racetrack for me until they get like a first lap. And 13.086 for Cardoza. Puts him up in third, right there behind Stoll. Lap number 2 for Landon. Gonna stay right there in third. A slight improvement, about 4 hundredths of a second, but he's gonna stay down in third. Like we got Sheridan and Ulf out on the speed, or actually Michael Dawson and Michael Sheridan will be next cars out onto the racetrack. Dawson to start lap number 1. Michael Dawson, Santa Cruz, California driver, West Coast Speed Shop. Number 28 of Dawson across the stripe. 13.252 will move him up to 5th. Sheridan a little better to 0.59. Your Farmington driver, Brett Marks Racing Sim Team. The number 8 of Michael Sheridan. Dawson comes across the line for his second lap. Not going to improve. Sheridan also does not improve. He'll stay down in 4th at a 13.059. Neville Ulf and Parker Leak. Parker was quick last night. He had the top time. Watch Ulf here. He's going to come across the stripe first. They both had some bad luck here this week, but he shows up here again for night number 4. Put himself into the feature. Never Ulf across the line for lap number 1. 13.591. What happened to Parker? Parker did not get his first lap in. He must have made contact with the wall. Ulf comes across the line for lap number 2. 4.43. Parker Leak his first. He's going to get second lap. It will count for him at a 13:049, so 4th for Parker Leak. It's 10 cars out onto the speedway. Next 2 drivers on the racetrack is Trevor Royer in the 90. And the winner of the last 2 nights, Tanner Pettit racing number 49 of Ryan Avila. It's Black Diamond Motorsports. Number 90 of Trevor Royer. He'll cross the stripe here first in this 2-car group. Royer right up on the cushion off of 4. He'll come across the stripe. Not going to get a lap count at Avila with his first lap. He'll go up to 6 at 13.113. Here comes Royer. He needs to get a lap in here. Up to 7th with a 136. Avila's second lap. Fast time for Ryan Avila. He'll go to the top of the charts at a 12.978, 1/1000th of a second over his Tanner Pettit teammate Bryce Heinstein. Ryan Avila puts the 49 out in front, but here comes Zach Hollinger on the racetrack next. Lancaster, Pennsylvania driver from Hollinger Motorsports. Zach Hollinger out on the racetrack. Looks like he's running a solo. I don't see anybody else out there with him. Let's see what he does his first lap by. 10th fast at a 13.253. 13.253 for the first lap for Zach Hollinger across the stripe for lap number 2. 13.382 is going to be a little slower. Hollinger going to hang on to that 10th spot. Next driver's out on the racetrack. Let's see. I don't see anybody out there yet. We're going to find somebody. I see we got some iRacing sound, so somebody's out there. Looked like it was Ashton Farr, so Ashton Farr is going to get his first lap. Comes across at a 13.177. iRacing would prefer we just did this big closed qualifying. Everybody just got it over with, but it looks like so struggle sometimes just to see who's on the racetrack. Keith Chandler out there with him right now, so Keith Chandler going to come out and get a lap in. First time we've seen Keith all week long. Joshua Pickle in the 33.44 on the timing and scoring 33 on the race car. Chandler will be the first one across the line. He'll start lap number 1. Does he have anything for our pole sitter, Ryan Avila? Chandler looks smooth through 3 and 4. He's going to dive a little bit down off the corner. Across the stripe. He'll go to 15th at a 13.917. Pickle up to 12th. 13.276. Second lap for Chandler. Going to run the slider through 3 and 4. We're seeing a bunch of drivers running that line now. Big improvement, almost 0.6 of a second, up to 14th. Pickle also improves on his second lap. Pickle to 10th. Chandler up to 14th. Next on the speedway, Noah Bowman and Michael Skirring. Bowman in the X. You see the X on the wing. It looks like a nice simple duct tape job there on Noah Bowman. 15 on the timing and scoring. X on the race car across the line. 13.393. He'll go to 16th. Skirring a little better to 13.225. He'll go to 11th. Can Bowman make an improvement on his second lap? He catches a little bit of the concrete there off of 4. Is that going to negate his lap? No, he's going to make an improvement 0.3 of a second. He's up to 8th. Skirring also will move up the charts. He's up to 7th at a 13.090. So Skirring up to 7th. Bowman now in 8th. On the racetrack right now, we've got Peyton Overmeyer and Ross Corental. So we've got 18 cars turn a lap so far here this evening. We are on the final night, night number 4 of the Kings Royal. Corental coming across the line for lap number 1. Corental up to 20th. We missed Overmeyer's first time around. He's up to 9th at a 13.119. Overmeyer for lap number 2. 13.171. He's going to hang on to 9th. Corental comes across the stripe. A little bit slower there on lap number 2 at a 13.575. All right, next out on the speedway. Like Aaron Vasquez and A-Case out onto the racetrack here. Vasquez is already going to get one lap better into 13.167. Lap number 2. Not going to get a qualifying lap. Here comes Case across. Case did not look like Case got a lap in. Must have made contact with the wall. Here comes Corlin Boquist. I'm going to say Boquist on his last name there. Out of New York, BBS Esports driver Austin Griffey from Carlisle, Pennsylvania, Kamikaze Motorsports, number 57. Out onto the racetrack now. Next 2 cars on the speedway to try to knock Ryan Avila off the top spot. Boquist going to come across the line for lap number 1. 13.511. He'll come with 22nd. Griffey a little better at 13.151. He'll go up to 11th. See if Boquist can improve his second lap. 13.218. He'll move up to 16th. Griffey across the line. 2.71. A little bit slower than his first lap. He'll hang on to 11th. Out onto the racetrack right now, it is the 51 of Edmund and the 17 of Dustin Steinman. Edmund across the stripe. Rocco, Nebraska driver. Start lap number 1. He's been quick most of the week. Ran into some trouble. Let's see if he can get himself up into the front of qualifying here. 13.414. That's good enough for 22nd. Steinman across the line. Manistee, Michigan driver. Steinman Gallo racing to 13.675. Edmund for lap number 2. Move up to 14th. A big improvement, 0.3 per second at 13.172. Steinman will also improve on his second lap, but a 13.539 will put him down in 25th. Next out on the racetrack is Greg Robinson in the 83. Matthew Goins in the 27. Keep an eye on Robinson. Robinson across the line for his first lap with a 13.303. Goins with a good lap. He's going to move all the way up to 9th at a 13.112. Matthew Goins across it, puts a lap down, moves him up into the top 10. Robinson across for his second lap at a 4.01. He's going to be a little bit slower. Goins, second lap. 13.186. He's going to hang on tonight, put himself up into the top 10. Last night's second place qualifier, Richie Gaines, the third from Mitchell, Indiana. Rip the Lip Motorsports on the speedway. Right behind him, it's Sean Lobos from Hershey, Pennsylvania, the 1052 Racing, number 29. Also going to see if he has anything for Ryan Avila. But right now, Richie Gaines, the third. He'll come across the line for lap number 1, right up on the cushion, up against the concrete here, out of door, across the stripe. Did not get a lap in there. Globos with a 13.590 being 28th. Here comes Gaines now looking to get a lap in on second time around. A 2.24 up to 19th. Not where he's been all week long. Lobos across the line. 13.768, a little slower than his first lap. Now on the speedway, Tanner Pettit. Tanner Pettit racing out of Chico, California. Looks like he's a solo on the racetrack. I don't see anybody else with him. So Tanner Pettit right up on the fence off of 4. We'll jump on board with Tanner down the back straightaway. Right down on the bottom, he'll slide it up to the top of the cushion off of 4. Tanner Pettit across the line for lap number 1. Not going to get a qualifying lap there. Must have made a little too much contact with the wall. Going to try the same line here for his second lap across the stripe. Tanner Pettit. 13.030. Fourth fast for Tanner Pettit. Got into the fence on his first lap, negated it. Was able to come out on that second lap, clutch lap right there, moves himself up into the top 4. All right, looks like next on the speedway looks to be the 77 of Sargent, if I'm seeing things correctly here. But we don't see him. All right, Andrew May out onto the racetrack. His first lap of 13.470. Lap number 2, a little better, a 13.271. He'll stay down there in 23rd. Colton Brewer next out onto the racetrack. That looks like Bowen Smith in the 12 coming out there right behind him. So Brewer and Smith on the speedway. So got about 16 cars left to put a lap in. Does Colton Brewer have anything to knock Avila off the top? Track looks like it's starting to go away a little bit. Here comes Colton Brewer. He'll put a 13.150 up to 14th. Where's Bowen Smith? Bowen Smith with a 130. He's right there in 12th. So Smith up to 12th. Brewer to 15th. Brewer for lap number 2. A little better. Move him up to 9th at an 0.94. Here comes Smith. Does he have anything? No. A little bit slower there for Bowen Smith. 13.165. He'll stay down there in the 13th spot. Next on the racetrack, it is Donald Smallfelt, Burlington, Wisconsin, DJS Racing, number 7. And the number 3, Mitchell, Indiana, Black Diamond Motorsports, number 3 of Jay Shape. Smallfield will be the first car across the stripe in this 2-car group. We saw some early drivers running right up on the cushion both ends of the racetrack. You can see that slider line starting to develop and a little dust kicking up off. Entering one as it looks like there's getting a little bit of a rut. Shape with a good lap at a 196, but he's down in 20th. Smallfelt at a 541 to put him in 34th. Smallfelt across the line for lap number 2. No improvement with a 13.613. Here comes Shape. 13.245. Next car on the speedway, Kelly Carmen. Kelly ran well in his heat last night, took part in the dash. Does he have anything here late in qualifying? We're getting down to about the last 10 cars here to make it out onto the racetrack. Carmen in the 33. Jeff Ivan, I think that's the first time we've seen Jeff here. And he's going to be one of the first drivers running down on the bottom of the racetrack through 1 and 2. Let's see what Carmen has off of 4 across the stripe. Kelly Carmen. 13.176, he'll go up to 19th. Ivan across the stripe. 13.714, he will be down in 37th. Does Carmen have anything on his second lap? A little bit slower, 13.340. He'll stay there in 19th. Ivan, also a little slower in his second lap. He is the 37th car in the qualifying order right now. Next on the racetrack, it is the number 4, Westminster, Maryland, Tall Tale Motorsports, number 4 of Nick Lowe. Also on the racetrack from Paxonis, Pennsylvania, the Steinman Gallo Racing, number 21 of Shane Gallo. Nick Lowe across the line. 21st at a 13.191. Gallo down in 35th at a 13.519. Not the lap Gallo's looking for. Here comes Lowe for lap number 2. 13.325. And Gallo going to make an improvement on his second lap, but it's still a little bit off the pace from where he was last night. 13.326. Next out onto the racetrack, it is the Pinkin, Louisiana. I can never pronounce Majula Safe Speed Shop. Number 45 is Shane Smith. Tony Dominguez out of Kansas City, Missouri. Honor First Racing. Number 18. I think Tony came out a little bit late there. He's just now starting his lap. Smith's going to come across the line for lap number 1. 13.331. Actually, Dominguez did get a lap in the first time at 13.340. So the track really going away here. Somebody is really going to have something if they're going to challenge anything for the top spot. A little slower there for Dominguez on lap number 2. Smith with a good run on lap number 2. A 13.182 moves him up to 21st. So I've got 7 drivers, maybe 6. I think Case actually did go out and attempt the lap, but did not get a time in. Let's see who's next on the speedway. Thanks for joining us here tonight. Just about wrapping up qualifying, then we'll get right into our heat races. It looks like with the about 48, 49 cars here tonight, we're going to have probably an A, B, and a C main. And Dustin Sargent out on the racetrack. Dustin Sargent, Cleveland, Minnesota, BBS Esports number 77. They call him the big money. Does Dustin have anything for Ryan Avila? I don't think there's enough racetrack left out there. You can see the dust kicking up off the back of the 77 off of turn number 4 and into turn number 1. He is trying a completely different line through 1 and 2, and it actually Sargent is going to stop on the back straightaway. He will not get a lap in. Connor Dudek making his way out onto the racetrack. Connor Dudek, Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, Bocas-Built Sprints number 7. Can he find something out there right now? That track going away. You can see it right there. Just not a lot of bite up on the top of the racetrack. Connor down the back straightaway. He'll go down to the bottom, but turn number 3, slide it up to the cushion off of 4. Across the line for Connor Dudek. No lap qualified in right there for Connor, and actually looks like he will also stop on the back stretch, just like we saw with Dustin. Not sure what's going on there. If they're normally what happens if you get into if you make contact with a wall at all, you're gonna lose your lap time. And actually, as we were looking at that, I didn't realize Villigren was on the racetrack. Anthony Villigren come across the stripe at a 13.175. He'll move up to 19th. So only drivers we've not seen on the racetrack yet: J.P. Smith, Kyle Durbrow. Not seen him out onto the racetrack yet to attempt a lap. We saw Case, Sargent, and Dudek all at least attempt a lap, but I don't know if they're going to give him another shot here. So that may wrap up qualifying. We'll just have to see what happens here. So seeing up in the chat that JP Smith is not with us. And I just saw somebody go up on the timing and scoring. All right, I think we're winding it out. We're not winding it up. We're winding it up. Qualifying here. I do not see anybody else on the racetrack. I think it's going to take us right over to qualifying. All right. Qualifying is going to wrap up here. We're going to get right into our heat races. It looks like, unless there's somebody, we still got time on the clock. We still got 30 minutes. I'm watching to see if they the cool thing with iRacing here, we can time travel. So right now the clock still shows 31 minutes on left in qualifying. Let's see if anybody else gets out onto the speedway, if they're going to give somebody a few minutes. Track has really gone away. Heinstein, one of the first cars out, and we've seen that pretty much all week long. The earlier groups have definitely had an advantage. You're normally going to see that on a dirt track. It's going to go away, especially with this many cars. Right now, Ryan Avila still has the pole. I don't see anybody else making their way on us, and we have jump time. So that is going to wrap up qualifying. And your fast timer here tonight is going to be Ryan Avila. He continues his dominance. He has led every single lap of the last 2 nights. Brought home the win. He is going to start off with fast time here on night number 4. Let's see what our invert here is. Invert is 6 again, so that is 3 nights in a row. They have drawn the invert is 6. So that is going to put your fast timer, Ryan Avila, outside of row number 3. Now, there was some other wrinkles there we're going to throw in for us. I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but we're just going to call the lineup as we see it. And then if something changes on the speedway, we'll try to call it out where we can. But right now, we're going to get ready here for heat race number 1. Starting grid on the pole. It is the number 46 of Ashton Farr. Starting in the second spot here for heat race number 1, it's Jeremy Childers. We will transfer 10 lap heats with transfer forward. Bowen Smith will start in third inside of row number 2. To his outside, it's the 77 of Colton Brewer. Landon Cardoza will start there in 5th. And your fast timer, Ryan Avila, will start this heat race in 6th. Joshua Pickle will roll off in the 7th spot here for heat race number 1. Michael Dawson there in 8th. David Smil Jr. will start in 9th. And then Jack Young will roll off the field in the 10th spot in the number 10. We get back to the last row here. Dustin Steinman will start in 11th, and Kyle Durborough will start in 12th. That is going to be our 12 cars here for heat race number 1. So it looks like with 12 cars in the heat, we will have 4 heat races tonight. So we'll take the top 4 out of each heat. That'll put 16 into the show. Top 2 will go to the dash. So 16 out of the heats, and we'll take 8 out of the B to round out our 24-car feature. Keep an eye on the 49. We'll start this race outside of row number 3. So with this manual lineup, we'll go around a couple of extra laps here. You'll see the pace truck pull in, but we will not go green. All right, on the pole, it is the 11 of Childers. Bowen Smith to his outside, and it looks like so Avila had an option to move himself up a couple of spots, and he did that. He took the event. He took that. He is going to start here in 3rd, it looks like. We're going to go, see, pace truck's going to pull in. We'll go around one more lap. All right, we are half a lap away from first race here of night number 4, the final night of the Kings Royal. Childers, Smith, Avila, Brewer. Green flag in the air for heat race number 1. 10 laps. Top 4 to the feature. Top 2 to the dash. Childers with a good start. Avila's going to slide up in front of Bowen. Bowen cuts back underneath off of 4. Avila now takes a look underneath the 11 of Childers. Smith with some contact with the outside wall. That's going to let Cardoza get by. Cardoza down across. He's going to collect. It looks like is that Cardoza and upside down, and it looks like Austin Farr in the 46. Smith also going to get involved in this one. Now we're going to have a caution here on lap number 1. We'll take a quick look to see what happened there. But it looked like we were basically 3 wide there off of 4. Cardoza went to go down the racetrack. Gets into the outside. Smith gets into the outside wall right there. And Cardoza is going to make contact. Who was that there on the inside? I couldn't quite tell what car that was. Or Cardoza is going to go around. Looks like he may be out of this heat race. I'm trying to figure who the other car was. So it might have been Farr, because Farr looks to be out of this race right now. So we're going to get back to live racing action here. Caution on the speedway here on lap number 1. And it looks like Bowen Smith. See if Bowen's still down on pit road. He is. So the 12 car down there in this SGR hot pit, trying to get some repairs done on it. See if he can get himself back out here for this heat race. He started up in the front of this thing. All right, we're going to go around another lap. Got more action coming your way tomorrow night. Half Decent Racing League Xfinity Series. We'll be here for that tomorrow, and then next week. Kind of a slow week next week. We've got Wednesday night. We've got the Smoking Thunder ARCA Series and AI Chief Community Race. Going to run GT3s at Watkins Glen on the boot. But it looks like we're going to go back to green flag. Jeremy Childers off at turn number 4. Childers, Avila, Brewer, Michael Dawson right there in the 4th spot. That was Dawson. Actually, Brewer right there up to 3rd. That was Brewer I was looking for earlier. But here comes Avila. Going to take a look to the inside off of 4. He's got to run on Childers down the front straightaway. He's going to look to slide up in the center of the corner. Childers crosses it back over off of 2. Does not have the momentum to get up alongside of the 49. We'll try to slide him in 3 and 4, but not going to be able to do it. Avila now out in front. Avila has not lost a race out of the last 5 races he's been on the racetrack, and he has found his way to the front here tonight. Childers in 2nd, Brewer 3rd. The battle's back here for 4th. Jack Young going to take that transfer spot away from Dawson. Dawson fights back on the outside. Final transfer, about 5 laps left to go. Brewer takes a Dawson takes a look to the inside of Young. A little further up, Colton Brewer is now reeled in the 11 of Childers. Childers with a little bobble off of 2. That lets Brewer get down to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll slide him up off of 4. Childers tries to cut back under, but just does not have the momentum. He's going to try to slide in 1 and 2 again. Childers is going to lose another spot, just not able to gain the momentum to be able to complete the pass, getting into 1. So right now your 4th place car is Jack Young, and he's got some distance back. It's about 0.8 of a second back to Dawson. So your top 4 looking pretty secure right now. Pickle right there. He's outside looking in. Here comes DeBurrow on the outside. Smeal did not see him coming, move up the racetrack. DeBurrow is going to go around here on the last lap of Villa off of turn number 2. Half a lap left to go for the 49 to claim the win here in heat race number 1 on the final night of the Kings Royal. Across the line, Avila will take the win. Brewer is 2nd. Here comes Childers in 3rd. Jack Young 4th. 1 spot out is David Smeal Jr. Michael Dawson back there in 6th. Kyle DeBurrow in 7th. Joshua Pickle 8th. Dustin Steinman in 9th. Cardoza 10th. Bowen Smith, Austin Farr all did not finish the race. That is going to finish it up here for heat race number 1. Avila and Brewer to the dash. Childers and Young will put themselves into the feature. So another stat for Ryan Avila. Only made 1 feature here for the Kings Royal, and his best finish was 21st. Definitely looking to make an improvement on that here tonight, but we're going to get heat race number 2 underway. Here's our starting lineup for heat race number 2. On the pole, the 45 of Shane Smith. Corey Ettman to his outside. Trevor Royer been on the podium the last couple of nights. He is going to start here in 3rd for heat race number 2. Noah Bowman to his outside will start in 4th. Back to 5th, it is Parker Leak and Bryce Heinstein. Corner Bocus there in 7th. Zach Hollinger will roll off the field outside of row number 4 in 8th. Greg Robinson and Tony Dominguez will occupy row number 5 and get back to the final row here. Starting 11th, it's Donald Schmalfeld, and A-Case will roll off in 12th. All right, 10 more laps to go. Another 10 lap heat race here. 4 more drivers looking to make their way into the show, as we're going to call it here for the Kings Royal, the 9th annual Kings Royal here for the Dirty Old Bastards. Smith, Edmund, Royer, Bowman. That's your top 4. Keep your eye on the 84 of Heinstein and the number 1 of Parker Leak. They've been quick all week long. Do not count out Trevor Royer down there in that 3rd spot right now. Watch for Trevor. If there's an opening in turn number 1, the 90 will try to take it. All right, Paycheck's going to pull him. We're going to go around one more time. All right, we'll go green this time by. Got heat race number 2 underway. We're getting ready to get underway. Smith and Edmond. Smith will bring us to the line. 45 on the loud pedal. We're into one. Smith with a big jump. Edmond on the outside. Royer slides up a little ghost contact right there. Contact with a 51. And I think that was Noah Bowman that paid for that. Now, we have seen some netcode issues right there. And just even with the naked eye right there, you can see there really was not... I mean, there was a gap between Royer and Edmond right there. But unfortunately, Edmond's going to pay for it. Here comes the... I'm not sure who that was. That was Robinson. Comes charging through there. It's going to knock Heinstein back. Heinstein into the outside while we're under caution once again. It looked like Greg Robinson through the middle of the racetrack makes it 3 wide right there. And Bryce Heinstein damage on the 84. You can see him trying to get the car turned down pit road. And it just does not want to turn. And you don't want to tow if you don't have to. That's about a minute and a half. Bad Batch Roofing to see up there. Thank you, Reptar, for joining. Let's take a quick look at that one. So we can see Heinstein on the outside, going along the outside of Parker Leak. Here comes Robinson. Watch Robinson. And Heinstein makes a little contact there with Leak, slows up. Robinson with a head of steam, going to make contact with the 84. And it looks like that's the 7 of Smallfeld also get involved. Case also going to get wrapped up in this one. So I thought it was just a 1-car deal, but it ends up being 3 cars involved in this one. All right, we're under caution here for the first time in heat race number 2. Let's see, get back to live action here. Shane Smith, Trevor Royer now to second. Pacecar's going to pull in. We're going to go come off the turn number 4. Green flag in the air once again. 7 laps left to go for heat race number 2. Smith up on the outside. We're 3 wide back here for 3rd and 4th. Leak up on the outside of the racetrack. Here comes Edmond. Robinson right back there in 5th. Slide for Parker. He's going to move up in front of the 90 of Royer. Parker Leak up to 2nd. After starting in 5th, here comes Royer right back at him and not able to get up alongside of the one. A little mistake there for Royer down the back straightaway. He looks to the bottom of 3. The 51 Edmond right there with him. That's your top 4. Battle for 3rd, Edmond and Royer. Smith out in front by 1.3 seconds, and it's Parker Leak, Trevor Royer, Corey Edmond, Greg Robinson. A big move from Bokowitz. He's going to move up in front of Robinson. Robinson comes back on the bottom, down the front straightaway, back up to 5th, but they're both out of the transfer spot. It's only the top 4 they're going to make the feature. Here comes Bokowitz back at Robinson, not going to be able to get there. Leak up to 2nd. In the meantime, Shane Smith is checking out. 1 second advantage back to Parker Leak. Trevor Royer there in 3rd. We're going to come across the line. This time it'll be white flag in the air. Bokowitz and Robinson throwing haymakers at each other for 5th. Robinson up the racetrack, not able to clear him into 1. This 1 spot out, white flag in the air coming across the line. It'll be Shane Smith with a win in heat race number 2. Parker Leak across in 2nd. Royer in 3rd. Corey Edmond in 4th. That'll be your 4 transfer spots to the feature. Bokowitz, Robinson, and Dominguez. In 7th, Smallville in 8th. Case comes back to finish 9th. Bryce Heinstein with a disappointing run after qualifying 2nd tonight. He'll finish here in 10th. I think that is that going to put him into the B? We'll see how that lines up. Hollinger back in 11th. We're going to get heat race number 3 underway. All right, heat race number 3 getting out onto the speedway. I'll get you the starting lineup here in just a moment. All right. Heat race number 3, another 4 cars looking to make their way into the show. 10 laps here. 4 will transfer. Nick Lowe, Anthony Villagran, Austin Griffey, Matthew Goins there in 4th. Michael Sheridan will start in 5th. Aiden Stoll picked up a win Monday night. He is going to start in 6th. Connor Dudek 7th. Andrew May roll off in 8th. Shane Gallo back there inside of row number 5 and 9th. And Neville Ulf will start in 10th. Back to the 6th and final row, the 29 is Shane Lobos, and Dustin Sargent will round out our 12-car field here for heat race number 3. All right, we're going to go around at least one more time. All right, I mean, Dustin Sargent and Shane. That's not correct, is it? Yeah, Dustin Sargent, Shane Lobos bringing us to the line here to start heat race number 3. Neville Ulf, Shane Gallo, right there behind him. There in the 2nd row. Green flag in the air for heat race number 3. Sargent. Not sure who that was on the outside, but that was a horrible start. You're gonna fall back right there. That looked like that was somebody was sleeping up there. It looked like the 29 of Lobos did not expect to go green right there. Fellow Seep Sargent's going to cross the line with the lead here in lap number 1. Ulf, May, now Dudek down to the bottom. He'll take that transfer spot, take the 4th spot away. Here comes Nick Lowe. Gallo now down to the bottom, underneath Lowe for 5th. Gallo trying to make the bottom work. There hasn't been a lot of grip down there all week long, and you can see losing momentum there off of 4. He's going to lose a couple of spots. Up front, Sargent, Ulf, May, that's your top 3. Dudek now to 4th. Dudek up to 3rd now. May now to 4th. So Dudek with a slide through 3 and 4. He'll take that 3rd spot away. May comes back him out of the bottom. Contact right there with Lowe. And I'm not quite sure who that was. I just caught it out of the corner of my eye, but Lowe taking a tumble, taking a ride into turn number 1. He'll go upside down. And so far, we still got green flag out. We got that Gallo stuck on the racetrack out there. No, that was Griffey in the 57. Caution finally thrown here on lap number 5. Let's take a quick look at that. It looked like it was Griffey and Lowe getting together. Let's see who started this off here. So we see Lowe up here in the front. And that's Villagran. Villagran comes down across, tries to make the cut underneath the 4, down the front straightaway, just catches the rear nerf bar of the 4, turns him around. And unfortunately for Griffey, really nowhere to go. So first caution here in heat race number 3. So if my memory serves me correctly, we saw the that same incident happened to Villagran, but he switched positions earlier this week. Villagran was the victim of somebody catching his bumper down the front straightaway. If I'm remembering correctly, if I'm not, I apologize. We got a little call here from, so we had a little confusion there on the start. Here was Dustin Sargent on the start of that heat race.
I'm still going to step on it, just a heads up.
So he's warning everybody he's going to go for it. So Neville Olf with some contact out there with Dudek. He's
Sorry about that, Connor.
just a quick word there from Olf apologizing to Connor Dudek for some contact on the racetrack. All right, Pacer's going to turn in. Sargent will bring us to the line. Green flag in the air, heat race number 3. Sargent about a 10 car length lead into turn number 1. Olf on the outside. Dudek now takes a look underneath them. There's May right there in 4th. Aiden Stoll looking to get into his transfer spot. He's back to 5th. Gallo right there sniffing on the outside. Dudek takes a look to the inside, loses momentum. That's going to let May get by him on the inside. May slides up into 3rd. We got 5 cars fighting for 2 spots. May makes contact with the outside. Wow, here comes Dudek. Aiden Stoll now to 4th. Stoll looking to move up another spot. Contact with the 31 and the 7. May going to get an outside wall. Gallo gets into the back of him. Stoll going to hang on to 4th. Here comes Villagren. Villagren slides up in front of May. That's for 6th and 7th. May crosses him back over. Cross the line. 2 laps left to go for Sargent. He likes what he's seeing behind him, if he could see behind him, with no mirrors in the car. As they are racing it up, he is driving away. Olf now in 2nd. Here comes Dudek. Dudek down to the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to slide up in front of Olf, take that 2nd spot away. Olf crosses him over down the front straightaway. And here comes Aiden Stoll. We got the top 4 right here all over top of each other. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Dudek to the outside. We're 3 wide off of 2. Stoll down the back straightaway. And Olf and Dudek are going to get together. Dudek's going to go around upside down in turn number 3. Connor Dudek is going to fall back to 10th. Your winner is going to be Dustin Sargent. Aiden Stoll, Neville Olf, Matthew Goins are going to take that, to steal that last transfer spot as Connor Dudek got together with Olf. That was your top 4 there for heat race number 3. We're going to get ourselves right into the 4th heat race. All right. Heat race number 4 getting lined up. Sorry, we're taking care of some business in the background. So heat race number 4, the final heat race of the night. We will get ourselves right into the features after this one. Here is your lineup for the final heat race of the night. On the pole, the number 3 of Jay Schaaf. To his outside, Kelly Carmen. Row number 2, starting on the inside in the 3rd spot, it's Aaron Vasquez and Peyton Overmeyer. Michael Skirring will start in 5th. Tanner Pettit will start in the 6th spot outside of row number 3. Back to row number 4, starting in 7th, it's Richie Gaines the 3rd. And the 17 is Spencer Putney. Keith Chandler will start in 9th. Ross Corintaw will start heat race number 4 outside of row number 5 in the 10th spot. The final 2 cars on the speedway is Jeff Ivan and JP Smith. And I'm looking up at my timing and scoring here, and it does not look like Carmen or Smith have made the call to the racetrack here for heat race number 4. We'll see how this goes here, see if they can get out onto the racetrack. All right, pace truck's pulled in. We're going to go around one more time. It's going to be Schaaf and Vasquez bringing us to the line to finish off our 4th and final heat race of the night. The final 4 drivers going to punch their way into the feature. Top 2 to the dash. Top 4 will make it into the back, into the A main. Schaaf and Vasquez. Watch for Schaaf. He's been quick all week long. Had some bad luck. Let's see if he can clear Vasquez into 1. Schaaf on the throttle off turn number 4. Green flag here for the final heat race of the night. Schaaf with a big jump into turn number 1. Overmeyer up to second. Pettit now to the bottom of the racetrack. Tanner Pettit in the 24, trying to find a little bit different moisture. He is right down against the inside wall. He's rolling the bottom of the racetrack. He's got a good run off of 4. He is going to clear Vasquez for 3rd. He'll slide up in front of Overmeyer for 2nd. Tanner Pettit, the first one to show us anything on the bottom of the speedway. Vasquez takes a look underneath Overmeyer, slides back up into 3rd, 3 wide. Back there for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Contact right there between Vasquez and it looked like the 37 of Michael Skirring. Putney now up to 4th. Vasquez falls back to 5th. Your leader is the 3 of Jay Shafe. And here comes Tanner Pettit on the bottom. Slides up in front of Shafe through 1 and 2. Shafe just does not have the momentum off of 2 to cut back under. They head into 3 and 4. Tanner Pettit up to the front. Started back in 6th. All the way to the lead. Tanner Pettit in the 24 in command here. 6 laps left to go in heat race number 4. Jay Shafe, Michael Skirring, Spencer Putney, Aaron Vasquez now to 5th. He's 1 spot out. A little ways back, it's Richie Gaines, the 3rd in the 6th spot. Vasquez trying to reel in Putney, trying to get that last transfer spot. He wants to get into the show, but right now it is Spencer Putney hanging on to 4th, right there in front of him. Skirring, your top 4 separated out. Tanner Pettit now almost 2 full seconds out in front of Jay Shafe. Here comes Vasquez, takes a look to the inside of Putney. Going to try to slide him in 3 and 4. Does not have the momentum. Has to keep the car in the middle of the racetrack, and that's going to cost him. He's going to lose about 0.6 of a second right there on that move. That may have been the final blow right there for Aaron Vasquez. Two laps left to go. Popsicle sticks in the air for Tanner Pettit. And it's now 1.3 second advantage back to Jay Shafe. That's what it looks like on the racetrack. Skirring and Putney. Still your top 4. Vasquez trying everything he can to reel in Putney, but he's got half a lap left to do it. Pettit down to the bottom. He blocks off the slider move in case somebody was there. He's going to come off. Hard contact with the outside wall. He's going to wheelie across the flag stand. Tanner Pettit brings home the win, puts on a show. Jay Shafe in 2nd. Skirring will take 3rd. Spencer Putney, your final transfer car. Aaron Vasquez in 5th, 1 spot out. And Ross Corintaw back there in 6th. All right, we get C-Main on the racetrack, and we got a special guest up in the booth here with us. My good friend Liam Irvig going to join us here tonight for the main events. Liam, how you doing there, buddy?
Fantastic. I tell you what, I cannot wait. Eldora is an absolute blast of a track. There's nothing more prestigious than the win in the King's Royal here, and tell you what, we've got a lot of hungry guys here.
Let's get our lineup going here for the C-Main. 4 cars will transfer into the B. And then from the B, we'll take 8 to the... Actually, they may be transferring 8 out of the C. I should have got clarification from our race control. But on the pole... Just a second here. Let's take a look here to see if they did an invert here for us real quick.
It looks like we get 4 to the B main.
4 to the B and then 8 from the B.
Go to the feature.
All right, perfect. Thank you for that, Liam. All right, on the pole here for the C main, 10-lap action. Top 4 will go on to the B. Jeff Ivan will start on the pole. Dustin Steinman to his outside. A-Case will start in 3rd. The 29 is Shane Lobos will occupy the 4th starting spot. Keith Chandler will roll off at 5th. Landon Cardoza, not a spot you usually see him at. He is back here in the C main in 6th. Bryce Heinstein also picked up a win Monday night. He's back here in 7th. Connor Dudek in the 8th spot. Peyton Obermeyer in 9th. Bowen Smith back here in the 10th spot. We have got a lot of good cars here in this C main. Back to the 6th row, starting in 11th. It's the 99 is Zach Hollinger. Nick Lowe will start there in 12th. Back to 13th is Kelly Carmen. Austin Fair will start in 14th. Noah Bowman inside of row number 7. Inside of row number 8 in 15th. And to his outside, it's the 57 of Austin Griffey. JP Smith has not been here all night long. I don't see him or Austin Farr in the lobby, so I think we're going to have 15 cars roll off here.
15 cars, 4 of them going to get the chance to keep racing. while 11 are going to have to pack it up and go home. The pace car makes that hard left turn. The field in the hands of Jeff Ivan coming up off of turn number 4, pedal to the metal. He's on it. Oh, trouble into turn 3. Got one upside down. We stay green after a big crash here. Shad Lobos, Landon Cardoza also look to be caught up in there. See this track already starting to change, but like Chris said, they did rework it before this feature. A lot of grip all over the racetrack, and you're seeing completely different lines. So we've got a caution flag on the speedway. Oh man, so that broke. What a rough stuff there for him. But kind of rough stuff there for him. A tough way to end the race. Now we've got 10 drivers still on the racetrack. Austin Griffey looks to be showing one lap down. So 9 of them going to be racing for these final 4 spots here in the final couple of laps. Getting ready, pace car is going to come in this time around. Jeff Ivan, Aja Case, Dustin Steinman, top 3. Bryce Einstein, the final transfer spot for now. That's up for grabs. Free flag back in the air, and Ivan goes all the way down to the bottom of the racetrack, just like we've seen him do all the race. And here comes Case looking up a little bit higher, trying to get some momentum coming up off of turn number 4. Side by side for that final transfer spot, Noah Bowman, Keith Chandler trying to make something happen behind that Heinstein machine, and Heinstein sees that in his mirror. He says, let me try to get down to the inside here of Dustin Steinman. Try to make... Oh, there's contact with Steinman going around. And you got to wonder if that contact between Bowman and Steinman, if that was the main driver in causing them to miss out on the B main, or if they were maybe going to get past.
Transferred in, and I've been talking without my main mic on. You've been hearing me really good, Liam, but nobody else has. So we're going to get right to our B main. So Ivan bringing home the win right there in the C. B main getting lined up on the speedway right now. We'll bring you our starting lineup.
Yeah, David Smeal Jr. going to be on the pole here today, with Corlin Bocuse on his outside. We've got Andrew May and Aaron Vasquez making up row number 2, followed by Kyle Derberoy and Greg Robinson.
Anthony Villigren will start in 7th. To his outside, it's Ross Corintaw in the 8th starting spot. Back to row number 5, it's Joshua Pickle. And Tony Domingos will roll off here in the B main in 10th. Michael Sheridan will start in 11th. In the number 8, Richie Gaines, the 3rd, finds himself in the B main. He's going to start in 12th. Michael Dawson will roll off in 13th. Donald Smallfeld in the 14th starting spot. Shane Gallo will start in 15th, and it's Jeff Ivan outside to his outside in 16th. A-Case in 17th. Bryce Heinstein will roll off in 18th starting spot here in the B, and then the last car into our B main in 19th starting spot. Back there by himself in row number 10, it's Keith Chandler. So 8 cars will make their way into the Kings Royal. We got 2 more races left to go here before we get to the feature. It is our B main getting ready to get underway for 12 laps of action. Then we're going to go right to our dash, which Liam, I'll have to walk you through that because it's a little challenging to call sometimes. So we'll get to the dash, and then we'll get to our 40-lap A main event here for the Kings Royal. We're going to crown a new king tonight. None of our past winners are here, so we will definitely have a new king of the Dirty Old Bastards Kings Royal Weekend. We are green flagging here. David Smeal will take us down into 1. Focus right there in 2nd. May and Vasquez, that's your top 4. Robinson takes a look to the inside of Vasquez.
3 and 4 wide action in the middle of this pack right now. Anthony Villigren up on the top trying to find something. He's gaining 3. He's losing 3 right in the middle of a corner. A little bit of contact there between the 71 and 31.
Robinson's going to take advantage of down to the bottom of the racetrack. May falls back to 4th. Corintaw back to 5th. Right behind him, it's Anthony Villigren. And here comes Kyle Dobero in 8th. He's got the final transfer spot right now. He has got some pressure from Pickle right there in the 33. Taking a look to the outside. Right in front of him, it's Corintaw and Villigren. Up front, though, it's Corlin Boquist. I've been saying his name wrong all night long. And here comes the 28 of Dawson. He wants that final transfer spot. We're keeping an eye on 8th right now. This is the final transfer. That's the battle. Here comes Dawson, slides up the racetrack.
Oh, big contact. Into the wall goes the 44, the 41. Also spinning around. The 22, your C-main winner, Jeff Ivan's going to get caught up.
Pickle also involved in this one. I just went to look at the battle up front when that happened, so we'll see if we can catch a replay of it here.
It looked like it happened right around that transfer spot. There was a little bit of contact, I want to say, from the 31, or the 41 potentially, and the car below. The 28 is going to slide up. Just a little bit of contact pushes him up, and
yeah, Pickle's going to get some damage
at
there.
33 to go. Completely takes the wing off of somebody coming through.
So we're going to watch this here again, and we're going to jump on board here with the is that the 28 at Dawson down there on the inside of the racetrack. If I can find him on my time in this corner. Watch as we jump onto the left, onto the nose cam here, and we're not going to be able to see it. I was hoping we could see. So here we go. That's a good shot. I mean, again, you can see about a foot in between the 2 cars right there. So we have seen that all week long. And unfortunately, just a little bit of netcode issues is what we've seen right there. A hard move there from Dawson. But when we're running that tight, it just doesn't take much to get somebody turned around. So unfortunately, that's going to put Dobro out of this one here. He's down on pits trying to get some repairs. Also, Joshua Pickle had a good run in the 33. He's also going to find his way down to pit road. You can see May also coming down off the pit road now. A-Case as well. Going to get some repairs here after. You can see, and the 41 of Dobro is going to make his way back out.
Let's see what we got. The pace truck's going to make that hard left turn, and on the throttle goes Colin Bocuse.
I've said it 3 or 4 different ways, so we're going to go with Bocuse. Smeal Jr.
We might be saying it wrong, but he is driving that car right, and he is driving it to the front. David Smeal in 2nd, Greg Robinson 3rd, right on board with Aaron Vasquez as he loses a position to Andrew May. Anthony Villigren, Ross Corinta, and Tony Dominguez rounds out your transfer spot. Michael Sheridan just behind him, going to try to find his way to the inside. Right now, guys, up front at least, playing pretty cordially.
Villagran on the outside of Vasquez right there, off at turn number 2 down the back straightaway. He's going to move up to 5th. Vasquez back to the bottom. Can't quite clear. Villagran tries to slide up in front of Dawson. They're going to make a little bit of contact right there. Here comes Villagran on the outside. And Boquist with a mistake. My timing and scoring is just going glitchy. You know,
Yeah.
iRacing and SDK hate. iRacing just hates dirt track racing. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. So final transfer, Dominguez in the 18. He has got pressure from the 8 of Michael Sheridan. Sheridan wants to get in the show. He takes a look to the inside. Going to slide up
Yellow.
in front. We got a caution on the speedway. It looks like it's Richie Gaines. Richie Gaines the third. You can see the wing gone off of the 11. The Tim Spims black diamond number 11 of Richie Gaines down on pit road. Let's see what happened here to Richie. Back here in the back. He's got Case right there in front of him. Case, and that's the 45. And contact right there. Case moves up the racetrack just a little bit. Gaines is stuck a nose to the outside. Contact, heavy contact for Richie Gaines. He's upside down, sliding down the racetrack in turn number 3, and that is going to put an end, more than likely, to Richie Gaines' charge, adventure, or chance to get into the feature here tonight.
That tough break there with the wheel-to-wheel contact. You're really out of control as soon as that happens. Launched him up into the air, up against the fence, and
we've got
a game over.
We got a Tony Dominguez fan up in the YouTube chat screen. 07, thank you, jumping in there right now. Tony Dominguez hangs on to the last transfer spot, but Michael Sheridan is all the way back in. Do not count out Bryce Heinstein. Bryce has been fast all week long in the 84. Won one of the double down races on Monday night. He wants to get into the show. He came all the way out of the C, started in 18th. He's up to 10th. He needs a couple more spots. Watch the 84 here. We've got just a couple of laps left to go. It is going to get dicey back there for that final transfer spot, Liam.
It really is. Be on the lookout. It'll be just a couple of laps to go for these guys, and a lot of hungry drivers with not a lot of time to make something happen.
All right, Pace Truck will make that hard left turn, and this is a tough pit area to get in here at Eldora too, under speed. You see the Pace Truck's going to make a left turn. Here comes Boquist on the throttle. Green flag in the air. One more time. We got 2 laps left to go here in the B-main. Smeal in second. We're going to keep an eye on a transfer spot. In the meantime, Robinson takes a look underneath Smeal Jr. for the second spot. Dominguez loses the transfer spot to Sheridan. Here comes Heinstein. Heinstein on the bottom. He's going to try to get a twofer. Sheridan comes down off the top of the
a little bit of contact.
Sheridan came down off the top of the racetrack. We're going to stay green. White flag in the air. Boquist out in front. Smeal to the bottom. Smeal Jr. trying to take the win here in the B-main, side by side. 4 cars right there. Smeal Jr., Robinson the third, Villigan second, Corintaw in 5th, Aaron Vasquez comes across in 6th. Andrew May will claim 7th, and the final transfer into tonight's Kings Royal is Bryce Heinstein. Let's see if we can catch it. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can catch a quick replay before it goes on here. But you can watch Sheridan here on the outside, Heinstein on the bottom. Sheridan just starts to come down the racetrack. Sees Heinstein, starts to check up, and unfortunately, I think that's Dawson got collected right there. And that is going to round out our B-main. All right, so what we're going to do here, Liam, this is probably something you haven't seen, not taking part in too many of the Dirty Old Bastards races, but as you can see, we're in our warm-up session. So the top 2 out of each heat race made it to the dash. So they're going to run a 6-lap dash here during the warm-up session. So this is the most challenging race you're going to call because you don't have a timing and scoring. You don't have a leaderboard because, as you know, in warm-ups and practice, our timing and scoring keeps track of who has the fastest lap, not who's in the lead.
Yes.
So we're going to do our best to give you a good call here in the dash. And I don't remember who. Let's see. You know what? We can, as we're waiting for them to get out on the racetrack, we can look back through the heat race results. So we're going to see Ryan Avila and Colton Brewer here in the dash. Heat race number 2 was Shane Smith and Parker Leake. Heat race number 3, it was Dustin Big Money Sargent and Aiden Stoll. And heat number 4, the top 2 were Tanner Pettit and Jay Schaaf. So those 8 cars will start our dash here in just a moment. Right now they're taking a quick little break. They're probably knowing Chris Roberts having another discussion with our drivers. And actually, let's see, Michael Sheridan. So Michael Sheridan had a little comment there halfway through that race. Let's see, what did he have to say here? Maybe I don't want to play that one. So you haven't had a chance to play with a radio replay yet, have you, Liam?
No, I have not.
Yeah, we'll just keep that one to ourselves. It does have a filter mode on it. Oh, what the hell? We'll throw it out there.
No, maybe it wasn't you, but whoever it was that did that stupid that got up into me was idiot.
So Michael Sheridan a little disappointed there with somebody else there on the racetrack in the B main. All right, we're going to get our dash underway here eventually. We're waiting for race control to get anybody out onto the racetrack. So in the meantime, we're going to, what we're going to do, Liam? We're just going to take a quick break. While they're getting the dash lined up, we'll keep an eye on it, and we won't miss any action. So thanks for being here with us. 9th annual Dirty Old Bastards Kings Royal final night. We're going to run our 8-car 6-lap dash, and we're going to right to the 40-lap feature. So we're going to be right back. Got Chris Murphy and Liam Irving up here in the booth. We'll be back in about 2 minutes.
Now, driver, while the field gets sorted out and someone out there is still trying to find reverse, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in the middle of a race and thought, man, I really wish someone in my headset would tell me what the hell is going on? Maybe you're running out of fuel. Maybe the leader is about to lap you. Maybe you just wrecked half the field and you're pretending it wasn't your fault. Well, driver, that's where I come in. AI Chief, your personal crew chief, race strategist, motivator, and occasionally the only voice of reason between you and the outside wall. With AI Chief, you get live race strategy, fuel and pit calls, real-time race updates, savage coaching when you start doing something dumb, and trust me, based on what I've seen out there tonight, some of you really need the help. AI Chief doesn't just tell you when to pit, he tells you when to save fuel, when to push, and when to maybe, just maybe, stop trying to go 3 wide into turn 1. So if you're tired of racing blind, and you'd like a crew chief that actually knows what he's doing, head over to AIChiefRacing.com and let Chief get you sorted out. Because the only thing worse than wrecking is wrecking without knowing why. AI Chief, I've got your back. Now let's get back to the action.
All right, we are back live. It looks like we're getting cars out onto the speedway area for our dash. And it looks like on the pole is going to be the 7 of Aiden Stoll to his outside, the 24 of Tanner Pettit. Dustin Sargent in the 77 will start inside of row number 2. And that looks to be Colton Brewer in the 77 to his outside. Back to row number 3. It's Ryan Avila, last night's winner. Jay Schaaf in the 3, the 45 of Shane Smith. And Parker Leak in the 1 will start outside of row number 4. Green flag in the air right now. Aiden Stoll out in front. Pettit in tow, trying to reel him in. Stoll to the front. Pettit, Avila, Sargent battling out. Avila took a big jump down to the bottom of the racetrack. It was actually Brewer on the outside now up to 4th. Avila stuck down on the bottom. A little different racetrack than we've seen all week long. But it's working its way right back up to the cushion. As we see Pettit now taking a look into the inside of Stoll into 3. Stoll goes down to block the slide. He goes in the middle of the racetrack, but Pettit's going to be able to get up alongside of Aiden Stoll down the front straightaway. Tucks in behind him, up into 1. Here comes Brewer. Is going to try to slide up in front of Sargent for 3rd.
A little bit of contact there, 3rd and 4th. Down to the bottom of the racetrack goes car number 77. Got to make something happen there. There's Colton Brewer in the 771 as well.
And Pettit around Stoll for the lead. Pettit on the outside of the racetrack. Here comes Stoll back to the bottom. He is going to slide him up into 3 and 4. Pettit crosses the back over. We got contact. It looked like Smith in the 45 upside down, but we're still green flag up front. Stoll crosses over back underneath Pettit off of 2. Does he have the run into 3?
He's way on the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Pettit back down to the bottom to try to cut. Make that crossover move. Does it successfully. And here comes Stoll back down to the inside trying the same thing. Doesn't quite have as much momentum. Now Pettit goes down to the bottom of the racetrack to try to cover off that move.
Pettit, Stoll.
Checkered.
3rd. Is that going to be the checkered?
Yeah, that's
Checkered flag. Checkered flag in the air. So I told you it's a challenge to call these things. So Pettit, Stoll, Sargent, that's your top 3. It was Ryan Avila that we saw go for a ride. Went upside down. So Ryan Avila will not start on the pole here tonight. He is going to have to come from the 6th starting spot if he wants to complete the 3-night sweep of the Joker's Wild the night before and the King's Royal. We got a few cars going to make their way out for warm-ups. They're going to let them have a few minutes. Well, you've missed a fun week, Elaine, but I'm really happy to have you here with me tonight, brother.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is this is one of the big ones, and these guys have done it right all week. They've done the big event, doing it all week, like you said. The Joker's Royal. I'm learning a lot about dirt racing as we go. These guys are absolutely killing it. It's fun to watch them rip the absolute top. You can start to see where the track starts to get slick, entering corners, exiting turn 4 right there. Not so much getting into turn 1 yet. It seems like that's really widened in terms of where these guys can run, but turns 3 and 4, you can really see that same entry and same exit. They're starting to slick up.
So Tanner Pettit will start on the pole, and when he starts on a front road race, he is going to be hard to reel in. Tanner Pettit would be, if he can pick up the win here tonight in the 2026 Kings Royal, he will be the only driver that has won all 4 nights here in the Dirty Old Bastards Kings Royal week. He picked up the win on the Double Down Showdown last year, 2025. 2024, he won the Joker's Wild, the Tuesday night show. Also in 2025, he won the night before. He is yet, as a matter of fact, the craziest stat that I was able to find, Tanner Pettit, this is his first start in the Kings Royal. He has not made a show yet, so this is his first start out here tonight for the Dirty Old Bastards Kings Royal. And for that is it was a shocker to me when I saw that. But he's going to start here on the pole. He has a chance to make history, to be the only driver to pick up a win on all 4 nights, even though it's different years. I don't, what do they call that? That's a baby grand slam or something like that. So Pettit will start here on the pole. We're going to get our lineup here in just a moment as we're getting warm-ups getting called. We got about 50 seconds left to get to the grid. We'll bring your starting lineup here in just a moment.
Should be good.
All right, drivers making their way out onto the racetrack. So are they throwing a wrinkle here at me? Did they invert?
No, I think they're going to.
Oh yeah, they got to manually do it. Yeah,
lap.
That's right. Yeah, they got to manually.
They're going to take the first lap and then.
I've been here all week. You haven't. I should have known that. So, so we'll bring our grid up here. So I'll start off with the first page here because it's going to be a little challenging. So Pettit will start on the pole, Stoll on the outside, Sargent will start in third, and then and you know what we did last? You know what we did last time? Let's just do this. Let's just start from the back here, Liam, and then by the time we get to the front, they'll be on the racetrack. So why don't you go ahead and start us off here?
Yeah. Tailing up the field here today is going to be Bryce Hollenstein in the 84. He's got Andrew May to his inside. Aaron Vasquez in 22nd with Ross Carrenta in 21st. Anthony Villagren with Greg Robinson to his inside. David Smeal and Colin Bunkus making up row number 9. Row 8 has Spencer Putney and Matthew Goins.
Move to row number 7.
We got
It's going to be Corey Edmond. Yes, I thought so. There we go. Corey Edmond, Matt Young, and wow, this thing's just really getting all over the place on me here. There we go. Michael Skirring will start in 12th. To his inside is Neville Ulf. In the 10th starting spot is Trevor Royer. Jeremy Childers in the 9th spot. And then Jason. Then we're going to take a look at the racetrack to see if we can figure out the rest of the lineup. So we'll zoom in here. Tanner Pettit on the pole, as we said. To his outside, it's the 7 of Aiden Stoll. Dustin Sargent will start there in 3rd. Back in 4th is Colton Brewer in the 77. A little further back, it's the 45 of Shane Smith. Parker Leak will start to his outside of row number 4. Then we get back to row number 5. It's Jay Schaaf in the number 3. And the Tanner Pettit Racing number 49 of Ryan Avila will start there in 6th. 40 laps of action coming our way.
One to go this time.
One more lap to go as we had the manual lineup, pace car or pace truck, or we'll call it the pace truck. Pace. I keep calling it the car all night long. But
it's all the same.
It's all the same. Down pit road, we're going to go green flag next time by. The 24 of Tanner Pettit, Aiden Stoll. They were throwing haymakers at each other in the dash. What kind of racetrack are we going to have tonight? It's been up on the cushion all week long. Chris Roberts is going to make some changes here as he always does. Let's see how this is going to work out. Do we have a racetrack on the bottom? Is it going to be right on the cushion again tonight? Green flag will fly off of turn number 4, Tanner Pettit. Green flag in the air for the 9th annual Kings Royal. Tanner Pettit with a lead into 1. Aiden Stoll in tow. Sargent, Shane Smith down the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes, we're 3 wide. Back in the middle is Leak, Shafe, and Avila.
Trying to figure out if people are going to be able to use that bottom line. The 45 goes straight to the inside wall, and looks like he's able to make some hay down there. That's Sean Smith. Works his way up into the top 5. Crash in turn 1. The caution's going to come out. Corey Edmond.
Corey Edmond in the 51, upside down, loses a wing off the top of the number 51. See if we can see quickly what happened here to Corey. He's right here behind Putney. Putney on the outside right in front of him. Edmond way up to the top of the racetrack, and it looks like, oh, he's just going to wheel hop Putney's right. He's going to jump right over the right rear. I don't know if Putney lost a little momentum or what there, but Edmond just did not anticipate that.
Putney made a little bit of contact with the back of the 5, and that kind of checked his momentum up, and that created just enough momentum change for Edmond to get up into him.
Good call.
Not sure if the 5 got any damage from that, but you're going to see 17's just going to give him a little bump here coming up off of the quarter, and that's going to kill his momentum.
Yeah, you got a good call right there, and you can see right here. And again, I mean, there's a foot between the cars. We have seen this all week long, unfortunately.
I mean, that was a good, clean move there by Edmond that unfortunately resulted in a crash that it really shouldn't have.
And we see Jarrett Garini up there in the chat. Good to see you up there, Jarrett. All right, we got 2 laps down, or excuse me, actually 1 lap down, I believe. 39 left to go in this 40-lap feature. Tanner Pettit, as usual, got a fantastic jump on the start. We're gonna go. Looks like we're gonna go single file restart for this one, Liam.
Lights are off on the pace truck again. They're giving him a little bit of gap so that Pettit can potentially try to cut down in the middle of the corner more so on that restart. Take a look when that pace car makes the left turn, and you can see this track really starting to slick up. Into turn 3, you see that lane coming up off of turn 4. All the way down off of turn 4, green flag in the air, and Pettit does not waste any time.
Single file right up on the cushion. Stole the 2nd. Sargent hanging on to 3rd. Brewer in 4th. Here comes Shane Smith in the 4th spot. Looking a little further back, it's the 49 of Avila, but Pettit now about 0.3 of a second out in front. Jay Shafe down there in the 3s, gets down to the bottom of the racetrack. That's going to let Avila get by him on the outside. Avila takes a look to the inside of Parker Leak. Not able to get up alongside the 1. The racetrack looked to be coming in, but it's still right up on the top. We don't see anybody making the bottom of the racetrack work right now. If we look a little further back, here's Neville Loaf in the 15th spot.
Wolf trying to work that bottom middle lane. You see a little bit of contact right behind him. Here comes a big move from car 71 up to the outside. That's Aaron Vasquez making that pass happen. You see a little bit of a debris, some front
Parker Leak losing the nose wing. The nose wing gone off of the 1. He makes a hard left turn down pit road. That is going to end the night for Parker Leak. No caution flag. Did not see who he got together with as we were kind of peeking through the rest of the field. Single file up front for the top 7. Shafe now and Scurrying to the outside. Michael Scurrying with a good run on the outside of Jay Shafe. He's going to move up into 7th. Jack Young.
It's not something that we've been able to talk about a whole lot tonight, but lap traffic is going to be coming into effect pretty soon here. David Smeal Jr., Greg Robinson at the tail of this field. They're only about a straightaway in front of your race leader at this point.
Jay Shafe's going to slap in front of Jack Young.
Into the thing, and you know how traffic is going to affect the battle for this race lead, as Tanner Pettit is losing it to Aiden Stoll right now.
Stoll reels in. Tanner Pettit takes the lead here on lap number 10, lap number 9, 30 laps to go. Stoll.
Crash in turn 2, Aaron Vasquez. Matthew Goins go around. I'm not sure who was leading at that point. Tanner Pettit might have just stolen it back.
I think it's going to go back. It depends on where Stoll took the lead the lap before. It's going to revert back a lap. And I think I did not see where Stoll. As a matter of fact, why don't we just see if we missed that pass. Let's see if I can find the pass for the lead here. Get a replay of it. So Pettit, I mean, it was a big gap right here. I'm guessing Pettit must have made some contact with the outside wall for Stoll to make it. He did. He made contact hard with the outside wall. That's going to give Stoll the lead right there. So that was the pass for the lead. Now let's see if we can go back and see what happened on the caution here.
And of course, we saw Pettit take the lead right back in that next set of corners. So Don't anticipate him losing. Oh, yeah.
Just did not see the 71 down on the bottom of the racetrack. Goins comes down the hill, collects the 71 of Vasquez. That is going to bring out our second caution. And I was getting ready to say right before that came out, this was one of our longest green flag runs we've seen all week long. We've not even seen the drivers really had to contend with traffic at all. But right now, it's the battle looks like it's going to be between Pettit and Stoll. Sargent right there in third. It just looks like trying to get anywhere from further back in this field is going to be a challenge. Just not a lot of room to pass. The track's slicked up way up on the top. You can see maybe even starting to take a little rubber. It's getting pretty black up there against the cushion. We're going to see how this develops throughout the night, but so far, nobody's been able to work the bottom.
We're on a double file restart here. That might throw a wrench in our plans at that green flag run. We shall see. We've still got 16 drivers on the lead lap, 22 on the racetrack. Green flag in the air. A little bit jumbled up start in the second and third rows, but Tanner Pettit going to be able to get away strong. They're 3 and 4 wide through this pack. Look at this battle for fifth. Coming up off of turn number 2. All the way down to the bottom of the racetrack. There goes the 3 machine. Jay Schaff trying to make something happen. Got a little bit loose coming up off of the corner, and that killed his momentum. Around goes one in the back. Looks like he's going to get it back straight. No, and now he's upside down.
Goins going to go around, going to collect Royer. Trevor Royer not having a good night. Came out of the B. Unfortunately, he is going to go upside down. So Trevor Royer's light looks like it may be coming to an end. Actually didn't come out of the B, but still not having a good night here. Tanner Pettit out in front. Goins and Royer are going to get together here for bringing our third caution. And as we see so many times, no matter what kind of race we're covering, Liam, you get one caution. I mean, the canned term basically is cautions breed cautions. And you see that so many times, whether it's on the mile at, Dover, or if we're here on the half-mile dirt, you just see it all the time.
You absolutely do. I mean, these restarts are really high-pressure situations. You know it's going to be tough to make passes, especially as this track slickens up. The lanes are going to change. It's going to be tough to make passes, so you got to try to make things do when everyone's close to you. And unfortunately, that risk comes with a high probability of trouble.
All right, so Tanner Pettit. So see if we take a look at our. I was gonna take a look at our lap leaders, but don't have it. So we're gonna have Tanner Pettit out in the front. Stoll was able to get up there and lead at least a couple. Pettit now back to the points. Sargent third. Colton Brewer, Ryan Avila up to fifth after starting in the 6th spot. Shane Smith with a good run, up hanging on to that 6th position right now. Michael Skirring up 5 spots. He started back in 12th. He's up to 5th. Our biggest mover of the race right now, though, is the Ross Corintaw there in the 10 car. He's up 11 spots after starting in 21st. He's up to 10th.
I will say I'm pretty sure Stoll never crossed the line in the lead, so Tanner Pettit still on pace to go flag to flag. He's going to stay up high on this restart. Interesting call.
And it's going to pay off
a couple
for him.
tenths anyways.
That is going to pay off. He's got a half a second lead coming off of turn number 2. Different strategy than we've seen anybody all week long on these restarts. Avila was able to get around Smith. He's up to 5th. Now he's a thick look to the outside of Sargent. Avila now up to 4th.
Colton Brewer with a good move on that restart to jump up into 3rd place, but now he's got a mirror full of Avila. Avila going to be able to get around Brewer down on the inside. Can Brewer fight back on the bottom? He's going to have the position by a skosh at the line, but Avila has been strong. A little bit of wall contact there.
Avila crossed him.
That's going to allow Avila to cross him over, and he should be able to hold on to this momentum. Oh, he got up out of that cushion, checked him up just a little bit. Here comes Stoll trying to chase down Tanner Pettit and Ryan Avila. Trying to chase down both of them as they start
a contact for Pettit again.
Fight.
Pettit gets into the outside wall one more time. Here comes Stoll down to the bottom in 1 and 2. He's going to slide up. Pettit crosses him over. Back down the back straightaway. He does not look like he has the momentum to cross him back over. No, he's going to slide up in 3 and 4. They get throwing sliders at each other. That is going to help Ryan Avila make up some ground right here. As it's Stoll, Pettit, now Avila about a second back now. 1.2, 1.1. Stoll down to the bottom, trying to block off the slide.
Stoll, he tried to, but he got in on the slick stuff. It didn't really let him get into the corner the way he wanted. He's going to try to cross him over turns 1 and 2. Sliders galore as Ryan Avila trying to close in. He sees this stuff happening. Oh, man, another wall contact there for Pettit. He just can't keep it off of there.
Oh, sideways down the... Gets sideways off of turn number 2 right there. Pettit gets it crossed up in the middle of the corner. That's going to let Stoll get away. Here comes Avila now for a second. A mistake there from Tanner Pettit. We got caution in there, and it looks... Not see who it's involved in. Villagren. We see Ulf getting gathered back up there. Villagren already jumped down to the pits. That was the timely caution for Tanner Pettit. He had lost a lot of ground to Aiden Stoll after that mistake through 1 and 2. And we now have ourselves a battle here. We're about halfway through this thing, Liam. Let's go see if we can see what happened to Anthony. So Anthony up on the outside, gets into the wall all by himself. At least that's what it looked like from when we jumped onto the camera. And as he's trying to get it gathered back up, you can already see the front end towed out. Front end already broken. He starts to come down the front straightaway here. And just can't turn the car. Just drives it up the fence. And unfortunately for Ulf, it's going to make heavy contact with the 22. All right, we got ourselves a race between Stoll, Pettit, and Look, who has made his way to 3rd. The winner of the last 2 nights, Ryan Avila, looking to make the 3-night sweep. Colton Brewer to 4th. Dustin Sargent back there in the 5th spot. Michael Scurrying now to 6th. Ross Corentos found his way up 13 spots after starting back in 21st. He's up to 8th. We're going to go green this time around. As you can see, a couple drivers making their way back out onto the speedway after some timely repairs. Aiden Stoll on the bottom. Tanner Pettit on the outside. Side-by-side restart here. 19 down, 20 to go. Ignore the timing and scoring up in the top left. Green flag in here once again. Stoll down to the bottom of the racetrack. Avila with a run. He's got to run on Pettit into 1 and 2. He's going to slide up and take that 2nd spot away from his Tanner Pettit Racing teammate in the 24. Ryan Avila now to 2nd. He's got 1 more spot to complete the sweep, and look at Pettit way down on the bottom of the racetrack trying to find something else.
Jack Young's got a problem. Caution's going to come out.
Jack Young upside down in turn number 4. Caution out on the speedway once again. Man, we just need, if we can just get a long green flag run here, we are going to have some fantastic racing. Tanner Pettit, you can see, let's take a look here at Jack Young in the middle of the racetrack right there. It looks like contact with the 18, Heinstein right there on the bottom underneath of him. And then he just loses a lot of momentum, and here comes the 71 of Vasquez. He's going to get into the back of him, and Young's going to go for a ride.
Yeah, tough deal for him. It looks like Vasquez potentially got up into the wall there as well.
All right, back to live time. We don't get a lot of, we cover some different races. If you're covering a race at like Talladega or Daytona or something like that, and you get a full court, yellow come out, man, we got like 5 minutes to go off and, have some commercials, get a drink. Dirt track, we don't have that. We're going to go around about 2 laps unless they want to give some time for somebody to get some repairs done. We're back racing. So I am looking at Aiden Stoll. So Aiden Stoll's record here at the Kings Royal. I'm trying to find him on my list. Actually, according to this is Aiden Stoll's first start in a feature here tonight as well, as far as I can see on all of my history, Liam. So we're definitely going to have our first king tonight, or a new king tonight, and it looks like right now it looks going to come down between Stoll. Green flag in the air once again. Stoll into turn number 1. Gets a good jump on Avila. Pettit there in 3rd. Brewer 4th. Scurry now up to 5th. Michael Scurry with a good run. Watch Ryan Avila. He is reeling in Aiden Stoll. The 49 has been the fastest car on the track all week long. Right there behind him is Tanner Pettit in the 24. They are both reeling in Aiden Stoll.
Yeah, Pettit seems to kind of figured out his momentum, figured out a rhythm. So we've got another caution flag. Colin Bocas, I believe, is involved in something here. Oh, yeah, he is.
Yeah, just kind of settling down as we got to the camera right there. Let's see if we can see what happened to Corlin. I know I've been calling him Colin all night long. Sorry, we're going to see this.
iRacing says Colin Bocas.
Does it? My mind says Corlin, so... All right, he's going to make contact. That looks like Shafe right there. Shafe's just drifting up the racetrack. Man, he's going to tumble halfway down the front straightaway. You know, that's a bad enough ride in the sim. I couldn't imagine doing that in real life. But even in the sim, that you know what? Let's just take a look at it. Let's just ride along with him here. So we're going to jump on board here with Corlin. He comes off into 3 right here, and watch Shafe drift up the racetrack, and he just wheel hops the right rear, and he's going to go for a ride. And that'll make you dizzy.
Stuck the landing?
He did stick the landing. We're going to give him a 9.9. The Russian judge a 9.9 for the landing. But unfortunately, that is probably going to end his night, his chance to have a good finish here in the Kings Royal. I think we're down to about 10 or 11 cars left on the speedway. This is not unusual. We had 12 cars finish last year. 2024, there was 14. 2023 was the biggest year. We had 20 cars actually finish the feature. So we're down a few cars here tonight. But we are going to get back to racing action. We've got 16 laps left to go. Can Stoll hang on? Avila there on the outside. Pettit and Brewer right there behind him.
See what we got here. Doubled up. Once again, this time lap 25 out of 40.
Green flag in the air once again. Aiden Stoll with another good start. Avila right there with him, only about 5 or 6 car lengths back. Pettit now to the inside. We're 3 wide for second. Pettit makes contact with the outside wall. That's it. Skirring gets up alongside of Michael. Skirring with a great run now up to 4th. He takes a look to the inside. We're 4 wide off of turn number 4 for 3rd. But up front, Ryan Avila down underneath Stoll for the lead. He's going to cross, slide up into 3 and 4. Stoll cannot complete the crossover and to the lead. And here comes Stoll to the bottom of 3 and 4. He is going to throw the slider at him all the way from downtown Rossburg. Avila now back to the front into turn number 1, and that may just do it. That may be the nail in the coffin. Stoll has got to find some pace if he's going to have a chance to get back around. We got
out
caution.
Once again, Michael Schering, I believe, is involved.
Neville Ulf as
Neville
well.
Ulf involved in another one.
I just keep getting. I get
the wheels all kittywampus on that thing.
I just start getting myself worked up. So we'll see if we can see what happened here. So it looked like Skirring involved with Ulf. We got a few drivers making their way down pit road. Let's see if we can see what happened here. Skirring had made a good run. He had come up all the way. Oh, contact right there with Brewer. Brewer caught the left front of Skirring, and that started the domino effect throughout the field. And then Ulf comes charging through there, makes a little contact. So that is what's going to get Skirring upside down. So Michael Skirring had made a good run. He was up in the top 5, but unfortunate for him, he is now on pit road down in the SGR hot pit trying to get some repairs done. And we're down to 9 cars on the racetrack at the moment. We've got quite a few drivers on pit road trying to get some repairs. Shane Smith in the 45. He was in the dash. He is down on pit road. We see Jay Shafe in the 3. Trevor Royer down there. The 5 of... I can't remember who the 5 is. But we see Scurry down there in the 37. It looks like the 45 of Smith's going to roll off. All right. Well, we talked about it. We talked to Ryan about it last week. Did he have a chance to win tonight? He was pretty certain last night. The only chance he really had was to start up front, but he started back here in 6th, and he has found his way to the point here. He is looking for the 3-night sweep. And I see Jarrett, no, we don't keep a flip count. I believe we're probably up to, at least in the feature, probably at least 6. So we can start from there. You got to catch up with shots, I'm thinking, though. All right, side by side down the back straight. We're going to go green off of turn number 4. Ryan Avila, Aiden Stoll, Tanner Pettit. Bryce Heinstein now up to 4th. Heinstein up 20 spots. How did that sneak up us? I didn't even see that, Liam. Here comes Pettit. Pettit with a good run underneath Stoll. He's going to slide it from behind his teammate. Up into 2nd right now. Pettit to 2nd. Stoll falls back to 3rd. Heinstein to 4th.
Let's not forget, Bryce raced his way in from the C-main. Looks like Stoll got into the wall a little bit. That's going to allow Pettit to get down to the inside. What a close move. He tried to pull that slider. Just barely had enough space.
Stoll to the bottom.
Going to try to stay in it on the bottom. He's going to go side by side for the lead for just a moment. Here comes Pettit down to the bottom. You see a little debris coming up off of turn 4. And some contact has happened. Trading blows for 2nd place now with Stoll on the inside. Going to slide right up in front of Pettit. Pettit comes back down the racetrack, trying to get the nose in front, get that advantage. He's going to be able to slide back up, scrapes the wall a little bit, but while this is happening, this has allowed Ryan Avila over a second lead, and here comes Bryce Heinstein.
Heinstein up, as you said, came all the way out of the C main. He's up 20 spots. He is sniffing the top 3 right now. He's right on the back of Aiden Stoll. Tanner Pettit and Stoll going out. Heinstein makes a little contact with the outside wall. That's going to let Brewer get by him there for 4th. We get back to the battle for 2nd. And that, just as you put it perfectly there, Liam, Avila driving away. Pettit and Stoll just throwing haymakers at each other back and forth. Sliders galore. It is Slider City here at Eldora. Pettit able to get clear of Stoll right now. We can look a little further back now. Brewer to 4th, Heinstein to 5th, and right there Spencer Putney. We saw Spencer involved in the caution early on in this race. He's now up to 6th.
Doing pretty good recovery here, trying to close in on that 84 in front of him. Look at how bumpy this track is. It's rubbered in, and there's just a little bit of cushion up above that. You can try to get down here and find some grip underneath, but it is so tough, especially here into 3 and 4. You can tell all of that slick stuff all around the racetrack. You can see it. It's shiny compared to the rest of the brown on the racetrack.
It is black
and
glossy.
Shiny stuff does not have much grip.
And we are in traffic for the first time tonight. Avila now 1.5 seconds out in front of Tanner Pettit. Aiden Stoll right there with him, about 6 or 7 car lengths back, and it's a little ways back to Colton Brewer. Shane Smith now up to 4th. Shane Smith, though, was a big one off of turn number 4 to Heinstein. Shane Smith falls back to 6th. Brewer hanging on to 4th. Heinstein in 5th. We got 2 laps left to go. We come across the line for Ryan Avila, looking to make it 3 in a row.
And the caution comes out.
Caution, yeah, I don't know. It looked like that was I can't tell who that was, but it looked like maybe
31
Shane.
of Andrew May, I believe.
No, May is still rolling. It was, looks like it might be David Smeal Jr. No, it was a red car. It was a red car that I saw upside down. I thought it was Shafe, but I guess it's not. So I'm not quite sure who that was. But it was somebody sitting upside down in turn number 2. Here's a good shot. All right. Well, we'll just, it'll be a mystery for us. So we'll just...
Coming up off of turn 4. It was.
Shave?
I'm not sure who was upside down, but it looked like it was...
All right, well...
The 31 and the 06.
We'll move on. We'll move on. We've got... I think we're going to have 2 to go when we go back to green flag. So basically, green-white checkered. I think they're going to do a single-file restart. Ryan Avila, Tanner Pettit, Aiden Stoll. That's your top 3. Ryan looking to bring home the crown for his first Kings Royal win. Tanner Pettit looking at his best finish here is actually his best finish here. Aiden Stoll also, this would be the best finish for the top 3 right here. I believe Colton Brewer coming home in 4th would also be his best finish here in the Kings Royal. So a good night for a lot of these drivers. We're going to go around one more time, or we're going to go green. Green flag in the air. No? I saw the green.
No, the pace car's still out there.
I saw the green. Oh, they're way back in the pace car. All right, my bad.
Yeah. 1 to green this time, single file.
I need a pace car cam. That's what I need.
Honestly, yeah. Well, 2 more. Ryan Avila, can he try to take this home? Tanner Pettit started this one on the pole after winning the dash. See if he can try to steal one.
And that's...
Aiden Stoll, he's been a fighter all race long, but he finds himself in 3rd. Can Colton Brewer, Bryce Heinstein from the top 5 make something happen? Green flag in the air. 2 more laps to go here to crown a king.
Ryan Avila will take us down into turn number 1. Pettit back underneath Stoll for 2nd. Here comes Brewer. Brewer down there underneath Stoll for 3rd. Stoll with a bubble off the top of turn number 2. Brewer will take the last podium spot up to 3rd. Across the line with 1 lap left to go.
White flag is in the air. There's cars up in turn 2.
Green flag. Somebody got out of the way just in time. Avila had to take abrasive action. Contact there for 2nd. Brewer's going to try to get underneath Pettit off of turn number 4. 4 wide. Avila's going to go across the line for the win. 2nd's going to be Colton Brewer. Tanner Pettit in 3rd. Bryce Heinstein's going to come home in 4th. Aiden Stoll in 5th. But in the meantime, Ryan Avila completes what only one other person has done, and he is going to win the final 3 nights of the Kings Royal. Picked up the victory on Tuesday. Last night, the night before, you can see him celebrating down there through 3 and 4. We're going to take another look here at that white flag lap here, Liam. Watch the battle for second. Watch Tanner Pettit here on the outside. As we come through 3 and 4, we'll take the white flag this time by. You see Brewer back there, all the way back in 3rd. And it was this lap car right here, that spun out car, that really caused the problem for Tanner Pettit. That allowed Brewer to reel him in. Stoll. Also, Brewer got into the back of 24 a little bit there, coming for the checkered flag. But he's able to take second away. I'm not sure who that car that was spun sitting on the racetrack was. I think it was Jeremy Childers.
One of May.
Was it?
I think so. Might have been 2 of them there, but
Yeah,
there was a wreck getting into turn 2, coming to the white flag, and I don't know. I guess
definitely threw a wrinkle into that.
Stayed out there.
Let's see if we can see it here. Yeah, actually, it looks like Royer. Yeah, there was May. So May spun around here. I'm not sure who that is upside down. But May's sitting here in the middle of the racetrack. I think he's hoping for a caution at this point. And here come our leaders. I mean, May's sitting there for quite a long time. And watch from the in-car of Avila as he comes off of turn number 4. He can see May sitting there. Pettit also has some trouble getting around the spun-out car. May finally jumps to the pits. So I think we just didn't want to throw a caution there with basically 1 lap left to go. I think the expectation was that Andrew May would jump to the pits right there, but Ryan Avila with a great job right there, able to clear the spun-out car, comes home, is going to win this race by a clear about 1.5 seconds. So let's take a look at the Discord and see if we have any of our top 3 in the waiting room. Ryan, you got Chris and Liam up in the booth. Are you there, buddy?
Yeah, how's it going?
Well, we talked about it last night. You thought you really had to start somewhere towards the front of this thing. I mean, outside of the 3rd row is not too far back, but we've not seen a lot of passing here last night. I mean, once you kind of got, you did not finish the dash. You ended up 6th in the dash and having to start outside of the 3rd row. Did you think you had a shot to get up there?
No, not at all. Without the track look, honestly. Yeah, I don't even know how I got around Aiden. I think he just kind of stuffed it, and yeah, I mean, just amazing night. Honestly, started quick time and then 3-1 in the heat race, and unfortunate in the dash kind of sucks, but yeah, I mean, I kind of got gifted these past 2 nights, so kind of looks like it paid off, and yeah, made it happen.
Well, I mean, you come home with the win, but I'm guessing maybe you're just a little disappointed because you didn't lead every single lap tonight.
Yeah, you could say that too. Honestly, kind of disappointed for Tanner.
Yeah.
Last lap, that sucks. But it is what it is. The whole week was kind of like that. So no, I just gotta thank Chris for putting the deal on. Stoked we got to run it this year, and yeah, looking forward to next year.
Yeah, a little history for you here. Mason Hannagan, you and Mason, the only 2 drivers that have swept the last 3 nights here of the Kings Royal. You got to come back next week and take the double down to complete the sweep of all 4 events.
Yeah, Mason's great, and I don't think I'd ran last year, or I didn't make the feature or something, but yeah, from considering last year not having the greatest week to tonight is honestly way better. And then yeah, I went 18-2 on the first night, so I'd even count that as a small win. But yeah, kind of sick to win. Just honestly, just any of these races, especially this one.
Well, if I remember correctly, when we talked on Monday night, you had mentioned that you weren't having as much fun on the sim. You hadn't really gone on as much here lately. Does this, if I'm remembering that correctly, did we had that discussion on Monday? I'm kind of old, I forget things sometimes. But so does this kind of rejuvenate you here to get you back on the sim? I mean, this has just been a great week for you.
Yeah, for sure. Kind of brought the spark back a little bit. Getting wrecked and you winning races, kind of how it goes all the time. But yeah, I think we've just recently started helping out Aaron. He had raced tonight and made the feature. He's number 1 on the road side of things, so looking to get back into the road stuff with all the brakes and dirt, and looking forward to Pro Series obviously at the end of the year, and yeah, just might try out Chris's asphalt league here too. See what I can do in that.
Yeah, we covered the ARCA series on Tuesday nights. That was a lot of fun. I think he's going to fire it up on Sundays. We're going to try to broadcast that. Well, you had, Joshua Pickle was in there, put on a good show. One of the dirt guys, get in there and run. I think they're going to run some more ARCA cars again. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. I think you'll have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, definitely have to try it out.
Well, congratulations, man. It was basically, we should have just titled this Ryan Avila week because you were the top man all week long, man. But I know you already thanked a few people, but is there anybody else you want to give a shout out to before you get out of here?
Obviously Tanner Pettit, wouldn't be possible without him and all the guys that put the time into this week, and obviously approved. Obviously Chris for putting the race on and yourself for broadcasting. I know it's a lot of hectic nights, but yeah, grateful for that, and obviously just like you for broadcasting, and then people over at Jimmy P Mac Tools and 1425 Photography, Aces Up Sim Sport, CD Cinematography, Trackside Collective, Blake Carrick Racing, Ethan Johnson over at Free Speed and Simrat Market. Yeah, got another win for those guys, and yeah, looking to come back next year.
Congratulations, man. And hopefully we get a chance to talk to you again, and whatever else you got going on, good luck, and we'll see you next time.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a good one.
All right, brother. Take care. All right, Tanner Pettit, you got Chris and Liam in the booth. Liam, Irving, take it away.
Yeah, Tanner, phenomenal race for you here. You come home in third. What do you think you needed there at the end to try to keep Ryan Avila behind you?
Nothing really. I'm super stoked for him. He's been lights out all week. I think that's 3 in a row for him in the for the DOB Kings Royal week, and yeah, super pumped for him. Early on there, I just couldn't quite get in a rhythm. Just got bobbled up on the curb a couple times. They got me racing with Aiden, and when I was racing with Aiden, I actually basically spun out and hit a bump and fell back a little bit. But luckily, at the end, we were able to get into a rhythm a couple times there and go forward.
How did the track feel throughout the course of the race? We noticed it changing a lot, rubbering in up towards the top of the groove, but how did it feel out there? I mean, you had chances at the front of the field, both in traffic and at the front. What was kind of your takeaway?
I think everybody knew they had to be on the top at least at some point, or for the majority of the race. So, but tonight's curb was a lot bigger. I say curb, cushion, whatever you want to call it, but it was just bigger, and it was almost like hitting a wall, and it was, I don't know, it was really tricky. So that made for a lot of fun, made for some mistakes and some shaking up through the field, and just at least compared to the last few nights, it's been a little bit smoother, a little bit easier to run up there.
Yeah. What was it like throwing those haymakers there with Aiden for a little while? It seemed like you guys were unable to get away from each other.
Yeah, I mean, that was a ton of fun. I feel like we raced pretty good. There was one point in 3 and 4, he scared me. I sent it on the top and I didn't see him until later, and I probably should have heard him. And it's just really close race, and that was a lot of fun. How it should be.
Awesome stuff, man. Congratulations on the podium. Is there anybody you want to thank for such a strong run, such a strong week here at the Kings Royal?
Yeah, first I'd like to thank anybody who supports my website and everybody on the team, Bryce, Ryan, Aiden, anybody that helps out. I'd also like to thank Jimmy P Mac Tools, 1425 Photography, Simrat Market, CD Cinematography, Ethan Johnson for the help with the late model side of things. You guys are putting on the broadcast, Chris are putting on the league. And yeah, again, anybody who supports the TPR stuff on iRacing, it's been a lot of fun lately.
Awesome stuff, man. Thank you for joining us, and congrats once again.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks to Tanner Pettit there. We're going to go ahead and get the second place driver, and I took Liam out of the booth instead of Tanner. So we'll get Colton Brewer. Colton, you got Chris and Liam up in the booth. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, fantastic run. Got yourself into the dash right there at the end. A little excitement there coming off of too. Andrew May sitting sideways in the racetrack. You took advantage of it, though, found a way around Tanner. Kind of tell us how the night went from your point of view.
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to say sorry to Tanner. I didn't mean to get into him and kind of screw his race up there the last corner in 3 and 4, but it was just hard racing, really. I mean, we all kind of bumped, and what happened. But yeah, it was a pretty exciting race. I was just driving the wheels off of it there at the end, trying to make up the ground that I lost from that EOL.
Well, definitely your best finish here in the Kings Royal. Is this your first? I think it is your first feature here for Kings Royal Week. Yeah,
I believe it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
according to the numbers I'm looking at, your first feature, and you come home with a podium. Fantastic run out there, man. It was just, you know, it's track looked a little different tonight, as Tanner said just a few moments ago. And we're kind of watching the replay here, and you can see that there's a little bit of moisture. There's a little black up towards the top, and a little moisture right against the cushion that we really hadn't seen all week. It looked like most of the week the black had worked its way all the way to the cushion.
Yeah, I think I only ran on Monday night and it didn't go good. I think we got wrecked in the sea, so I didn't run the other nights, so I can't recall that, but the track was pretty good. I liked it. It was getting pretty hairy on the top there, but you can make speed if you were smooth.
Well, congratulations on a podium finish here tonight in the 9th annual Kings Royal. But before we let you go, man, I know there's a lot of people to help you get it done there. Who you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, like to give a shout out to EPI, Spencer over there at EPI, and all the EPI guys in Discord spotting, and yeah.
All right, well, great job. Congratulations on the run here tonight. We're gonna go ahead and get you out of here, and good luck with whatever else you got going, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
You bet. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and bring Bryce up here. Bryce, are you there, buddy? You got Chris and Liam in the booth. Who's in the waiting room? Are you there, Bryce? Maybe he was just there talking to somebody else. All right. I was going to talk to him about his run from the sea, but it looks like maybe he has stepped away. So we're going to go ahead, take a look at our full results here, Liam. Your first night here with us on the 410 sprints. Give us your impressions here, Liam.
I feel like I learned a lot. This did not disappoint by any stretch of the means. These guys are absolutely phenomenal at what they do, and Ryan Avila did Ryan Avila things. Did what he did all week and took it home at the end. I'd like to say I'm shocked, but when somebody's got that kind of momentum rolling around in a big event like this, it gets tough to root against it.
But let's take a look at our full results here.
Hey, he's here. He said he's here.
Oh, is he there now? All right. Hey, Bryce, you got Chris in the booth. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, man. That was a run. I mean, that was the run of the night. I know Ryan takes home the trophy, but from the back of the sea all the way up to 4th, you've got to be tired, my friend.
Yeah, that was a lot of laps tonight, and had a good night on Monday and picked one off, and really struggled Tuesday night and got into a couple people and decided to set myself out on Wednesday and just regroup and reset and kind of focus up, and I think that paid off tonight. Tough luck in the heat race and pinned myself deep in the sea, and it kind of just showed those TPR sets will rip through anything. Tacky track on a reset, we're going to find a way to put ourselves in the show, and feature time comes around, it slicks off, they're just as competitive.
Well, 3 of the top 4 TPR drivers here tonight, man. We probably didn't really see it come through the field. As a matter of fact, I just kind of looked up at one point and you were in 4th, and I was telling Liam, it just shocked the hell out of me where you came from. Where were you able to find the pace to make your way through the field? Because I honestly have to be honest, I missed your charge up. So
yeah, just wherever I could find moisture. I just wasn't just about going in there and pounding the curb, because I knew that's where everyone was going to be, and at that rate, you're kind of just waiting for the right time for someone to mess up and pick them off one at a time. And starting that deep, and you get 40 laps, but I knew I needed to grab a couple of those pretty early to put myself in a position, and so kind of hung around the bottom in the middle and just kind of tried to capitalize on everybody else's mistakes.
Well, fantastic job out there tonight. Before we get you out of here, the man, you picked up the win on Monday night, and like you said, a little tough luck on Tuesday. I think you'd have been back on Wednesday, put on a good show for us, but fantastic show tonight, coming through the we're going to call it like the small bowl of soup, since it's, you see the soup at the chili bowls, they call it. They go all the way back to like the Z main, but coming from the sea, that is quite the accomplishment in this field of drivers we got here at the Kings Royal.
Yeah, absolutely. It puts it all into perspective. You see those guys run 8, 9, 10 mains at the at the chili bowl, and it probably takes a lot more effort to wheel a real car as opposed to the sim, and so those guys are units for making that stuff happen.
All right, brother. Well, we're going to get you out of here. We're going to get wrapped up for the night, but before we do, give you a chance to thank everybody who helps you get it done there on the 84.
Yeah, just got to thank Tanner and the guys back at TPR. Ryan, Aiden, Kenny, Clayton, all those guys put in a lot of work with me the past 6 months and just helped my sim career out immensely. And so getting these league races and even in officials, it's starting to show, and we're starting to show speed. So looking forward to try to lock into maybe some pro series races and make things like that happen. So I want to give a shout out to you guys. Thanks for the broadcast. Thanks for the sponsors that made this happen, and Chris for putting up an awesome league.
All right, brother. Well, good luck with everything you got going on. I hope to see you in the Pro Series when it rolls around halfway through the year, and hopefully we'll see you here at the DOB again next time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, guys.
You bet. Take care. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get it wrapped up here. Bryce Heinstein, all the way. I'm glad he got in here with us because that was a heck of a charge all the way from the sea. So we're gonna go through our full results here. Your winner, Ryan Avila, gets it done once again. Just put his name on the trophy there, Chris. Colton Brewer in second. Tanner Pettit falls back to third. He led some laps early on, but he's going to come home on the last podium. Saw Bryce Heinstein in fourth. I get that right for you there, Bryce. Aiden Stoll with a fantastic battle up front with Tanner all night long. Is going to come home in fifth. Shane Smith in sixth. Jay Schaaf in the seventh spot. Davis Mill Jr. with a good run in the 06. He's up to eighth. Neville Olf in ninth. Spencer Putney rounds out our top 10. That is the 10 cars that finished on the lead lap. A lap down was Michael Scurry in 11th. Aaron Vasquez 12th. Jeremy Childers for coming in 13th. And it's Greg Robinson, Andrew May, who was laying upside down at the checkered, actually at the white flag. Ross Corntaw in 16th. Kyle, how do we decide we're going to pronounce that name? Bocus in the 17th spot.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Bocus. Dustin Sargent in the 18th spot. And I'm not making fun of people's names. I'm making fun of my horrible ability to pronounce people's names. So let's just get that straight. Sargent in 18th, down 20 laps. Jack Young 19th. It's Anthony Villagren in the 20th spot. We get back to the rest of the field here. In 21st, Matthew Goins down 29. Trevor Royer, unfortunately, did not have the night he'd hoped for back in 22nd. Parker Leak up towards the front in qualifying, down in 23rd here in the feature. Unfortunately, Corey Edmond, the first driver out. And as our friend Alan Bergen likes to say, Corey won the race to the hot dog stand tonight, so hopefully he got us some food because I'm getting kind of hungry after this long night. So once again, we're going to go ahead and get ourselves out of here. But Liam, just thank you so much for joining me up here in the booth. I see Chris has snuck in here. Chris, you got any words you want to close out the week with? Make them nice.
Well, Ryan was, he, like you said, he had those issues Monday. That format, you have a bad heat race, you're screwed for the feature. But if it wouldn't have been for that misstep in the heat on Monday, he'd have swept all 4 nights. He is only the second guy to sweep the 3 crowning nights, so he upgraded his Joker title all the way to a king this year. Did it in basically dominant fashion. I mean, if that race goes green, he's not able to get up there, but the yellows worked out in his favor, and he come away with another big win.
Well, that, you know what, you just gave me the best line that I should have used, and I'm going to use it now. So Ryan Avila goes from the Joker to the King in the 3-night time. I should have used that during the broadcast. But hey, man, I just want to say thanks a lot for having us here. It's been a fun week. I was looking over at the next event, the next special events coming our way. I'm sure we're still on schedule for those. Are we not?
That's still the schedule.
So right now, the next special events that are on the schedule right now, still yet confirmed, August 25th through the 27th, 360 Nationals here on the DOB. August 30th, the DOB Classic. And then August 31st through September 3rd. That's a busy week right there, a couple weeks. The 410 Nationals right now. That's the schedule for the coming up events. And then you've got an announcement. You're gonna come back on Sundays with the pavement series. When are you planning on starting that back up?
Starting back up in September when we start up our weekly stuff for dirt. So that so I'll take. I think I got. Well, heck, I'm looking at the schedules now. Yeah, so I take a week off after I get done with the 410 Nationals, and then we'll fire back up weekly. So on Sunday nights in September is when we'll start.
Awesome. We're really looking forward to it. We're just so happy to be partnered up here with the DOB. You guys always put on a good show. But Liam, any closing words from you before we get out of here for the night?
Do it for Dale, be like Biff, and always keep it rowdy. As you guys walk through the streets of life, please don't play in traffic.
The famous line right there from Tony Trapasso. But I'm going to add my line as well. So thank you all for joining us. Don't forget, we got more action coming your way tomorrow night. The Half Decent Racing League Xfinity Series starts at 9 o'clock Eastern. I will be here for that one. And then next Wednesday night, we come back with the Smoking Thunder ARCA Series and AI Chief Community Race. That's always a fun one to cover on Wednesday night. And then Liam's planned to come back on next Thursday night for the Victory Lane Outlaw Late Models. They had a little issue tonight. We did not get that race in. That's what allowed Liam to come up here with us. So I'm kind of happy that it kind of happened right there. Let Liam be in the booth there with us for his first sprint car race. But we're going to go ahead and get ourselves out of here. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, give us a like. But from all of us here at DRSN, myself, Liam Ervig, Aaron Bergen, and Chris Roberts here in the booth, I'm Chris Murphy saying keep it smooth, keep it smart, and if you can't do that, at least keep it entertaining for the folks at home. We're going to see you next time. Good night.